Though the Kushite pharaohs eventually withdrew from Egypt, their cultural heartbeat continued to echo along the Nile. South of the Great Cataracts, the kingdom they nurtured remained strong for centuries, evolving into what historians call the Meroitic period. Here, iron furnaces glowed red in the desert night as metalworkers forged tools and weapons that fed a thriving economy. Merchants guided caravans laden with gold, ivory, and rare spices across the savannas and down the river to markets as far as the Mediterranean and the Indian Ocean. The royal cemeteries of Nuri and Meroë filled with slender pyramids, each one a sharp triangle of sandstone rising toward the sky. These monuments, far more numerous than those of the Egyptian Old Kingdom, testify to a society that celebrated its rulers and their connection to the gods. Reliefs and inscriptions show kings and queens in flowing robes, their features unmistakably African, presiding over ceremonies that blended ancient Egyptian rituals with uniquely Nubian traditions. Religion remained the core of this enduring civilization. The god Ammonius, whose oracle at Jebel Barkal had guided Pi and Taharka, remained the supreme deity, but over time the Meroitic pantheon absorbed local divinities and new symbols. Hieroglyphs slowly gave way to a distinct Meroitic script, still only partly understood today, which carried royal decrees and sacred hymns across temple walls and stone stelae. Music, dance, and rich oral traditions flourished, reinforcing a culture that was proudly independent yet open to the currents of the wider African world. Politically, the kandakes, the queens or queen mothers, rose to remarkable prominence. Some ruled as full monarchs, commanding armies and negotiating with foreign powers. When the Roman Empire expanded into Egypt after the fall of the Ptolemies, it was a kandake, Amanirenas, who famously resisted Augustus's legions. She fought Rome to a standstill and secured favorable terms of peace, a reminder that the spirit of Kushite sovereignty outlasted even the mightiest Mediterranean empires. The legacy of the 25th dynasty therefore cannot be measured merely in the years they sat on Egypt's throne. Their impact lay in the way they revitalized the ideal of pharaonic kingship, proving that civilization and statecraft were never the exclusive property of any single region or people. They demonstrated that the Nile was not a one-way street of culture flowing north, but a living artery through which ideas, art, and power moved in both directions. The Black Pharaohs reaffirmed that Africa's interior was a cradle of innovation, resilience, and grandeur. Modern archaeology continues to reveal this heritage. Excavations at El Kuru, Nuri, and Meroë uncover vividly painted tombs, finely crafted jewelry, and inscriptions that expand our understanding of Nubian language and belief. Each discovery challenges outdated notions of a peripheral dark continent and places the Kushite kingdom firmly at the center of ancient world history. Scholars now recognize that the so-called Black Pharaohs were not outsiders briefly wearing Egypt's crown. They were heirs to a shared Nile civilization and active creators of its next chapter. Today, travelers who stand among the quiet pyramids of Sudan, where the desert wind whispers across the sand, feel the weight of this story. Here, Pi planned his holy war of unification. Here, Shabaka preserved the sacred texts of creation. Here, Taharka raised temples whose columns still defy the centuries. These rulers remind us that the quest for order, justice, and divine harmony, what the Egyptians called Ma'at, is a universal human aspiration. The 25th dynasty of Egypt, forged in the heart of Nubia, stands as a testament to the strength of African leadership and the enduring connections of a river that binds lands and peoples. It is a chronicle of ambition and devotion, of battles fought and cultures intertwined, of a southern kingdom that rose to guide the destiny of the north and then, when the tides of empire shifted, turned inward to shine in its own right. Their story belongs to all who cherish the richness of the human past. May the memory of the Kushite pharaohs continue to inspire curiosity, pride, and respect for the deep African roots of civilization. And as you reflect on this remarkable journey along the Nile, from the deserts of Sudan to the temples of Thebes and Memphis, remember to honor these kings and queens whose vision transcended borders and whose monuments still stand beneath the unending sky. Don't forget to subscribe.